We are live. It is 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. BST in the UK. And actually, I think it is 2 p.m. Mountain Time. It is the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe coming to you live on this beautiful, ridiculously stupid hot Sunday afternoon on July 24th, 2022. And if you're paying attention to the stream, and if you're not, you should be, we have a special guest. We got Bionic Scoop in the show. Decided to drop by and give us a couple of words of wisdom, anecdotal stories, lots of fun, good times, good chats. Scoop, how are you doing, sir? Welcome to the show.
It is fantastically hot and windy here in the desert today, but I'm doing all right.
I like how you described what you said. It's like a miserable hairdryer.
Yeah, it's like living in I describe it either a miserable hairdryer or an air fryer.
Right.
Way.
Well, at least with the air fryer, you could get some like some toasted raviolis or maybe some tater tots or something out of it. Maybe you can get some snacks. So,
no, you just get dehydrated and disappointed.
Right. And sad and just hot and miserable. So welcome to the show. How are you?
And hot and windy is very much like
that. How is it? What's the Celsius in the UK? It's like 38-ish?
It's about 38, 39-ish, yeah. It's 106 currently.
Whew. How are you guys doing? Apparently in the UK, I think they were putting foil on bridges and like hosing people down and stuff like that. Apparently they'd never seen any kind of heat like that in the UK, right? It's been pretty crazy in Europe. They were talking about bridges melting and all sorts of craziness. I was like, what are they doing over there? And they're like, yeah, they're not used to this kind of heat wave. And apparently Europe's a little behind on this technology called air conditioning. You guys should probably get into some of that kind of stuff. Yeah, you should try to get some.
Only commercial buildings aircon, right?
Right. I don't know. It's just been around since like the 30s. It's this new technology we have.
What's that?
It's whatever. So, got a lot to talk about. So, people basically, Scoop, we'll just get started with how did the Bionic Scoop happen? The origin story, a little bit about your background, in case anybody in the chat is not familiar with you and your exploits and your online career.
The Bionic Scoop. Scoop has been my nickname since literally I was damn near born. I was premature, and you could scoop. You have one hand and carry me around like a football. So plus I'm a junior, so I was just a little Scoop. So Scoop was just always stuck.
Perfect.
It's the easiest way. And then I moved to was born in Kansas City, Missouri. So then I moved to Seattle. Well, my dad's job transferred us up there. And my first name is Greg, and I'm a junior. And my next door neighbor, my best friend growing up, him and his dad are both Greg. And then I had Greg on the other side and the Greg behind us. So we had 6 Gregs in 3 houses. So Scoop was just the way you called me. You couldn't walk outside and say, hey, Greg. You're like, get 4, 5. What? Huh? What? Huh? So Scoop is just who I am.
What's the chances of having 6 Gregs within like a 200-foot radius? It's crazy.
Literally, it was 3 in a row and 1 directly in the back, like the tiered off Tetris piece, like.
Crazy. We got a DT and Barry. Your man Barry's in the chat. He's decided to show up there and hang out. So I guess going out of high school, I'm sure you wanted to be a YouTuber in high school because that was the thing.
No, actually, I was heavy into jazz bands in high school. In fact, when I graduated high school the next year, I was over in Europe touring with a college jazz band. I spent about 3 weeks in Munich, Germany, and Frankfurt, playing my trumpet in a jazz band. I was like, I'm gonna be a musician. Yeah.
You did play a little trumpet in middle school. And I was a huge, my dad was a big Miles Davis fan. So I remember having
a kind of blue
Miles Davis tie and all that kind of stuff. And I actually even dabbled with a cornet for a couple of months. And then kind of just, got into sports. And then by 8th grade, I kind of lost the trumpet thing, which is kind of a shame. I really wish I would have kept up with it.
I was the sports playing nerd. Like I was playing high level club soccer and playing the trumpet.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So I just didn't have a whole lot of time to spread between. So I'm just going to stay playing baseball and then kind of do that. And I did have a great band teacher that I really, really kind of connected with. So by the time 8th grade kind of rolled around, I just kind of lost the faith a bit. So that's a shame.
So I had my elementary school band teacher really got me into music. And then as I'm graduating high school, he was at the college I was going to go to.
Oh, cool.
So I reconnected with him there and had a good time. But I was playing high level soccer. I was a center fielder in baseball. I played a little rugby. I'm not afraid of contact.
Me neither.
What position do you play in football?
What's that?
What position do you play in football, Scoop?
I was striker, center forward. I was number 9.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice.
I did play football in my junior year. They didn't have a goaltender. They didn't have a goalie. So they're like, "Hey, you want to play goalie?" I'm like, I've never played soccer my whole life. And they're like, "Okay, it's okay. All you gotta do is just jump in front of the ball and just try to catch it and stop it from going to this big net behind you." I was like, "Oh, okay. I think I could probably do that." So yeah, for 1 year, I was the goaltender. I actually liked it a lot. If I would have actually probably played a little bit more in in earlier years, I probably would have got into it because I really liked being a goalie. It was a lot of fun. I had a blast.
Yeah, I would play all up until I actually earned the Bionic part of my name.
Cool. I was going to say, I was hoping we got to the other half of that.
Yeah,
the scoop part. The Bionic was coming there somewhere.
Now we get to the Bionic part. So I was playing, I had stopped playing soccer for a while. I really got back into it. I started cycling a ton too. I was riding 150, 200 miles a week on a bicycle. Wow. And I was getting in shape, like high level shape, to rides from Seattle to Portland. It's a bike ride they do every year. It's 210 miles. You can either do it in 2 days where you camp out after 100, or you can do it in 1 day. And my stubborn self was like, I'm going to train to do it in 1 day.
Wow.
So I would ride my bike to and from work. And then after work, during the warmer times up in Seattle, I would ride my bike like 25 miles after work. Then on the weekends, I'd wake up 7 o'clock in the morning, be on the bike, ride 50 miles to 150, 75 miles, come home, eat, go to sleep, wake up the next morning, do it again. Whoa. On top of that, I was playing 3 soccer leagues, 1 indoor, 2 outdoor. So I was in ridiculous shape. So I took a nasty slide tackle in a match, and I jumped over it, but I landed on the dude's ankle with my toe in the turf, and then kind of landed forward. I was like, oh, that didn't feel good. I'm all right. I actually broke the other guy's ankle. I felt terrible. I helped him off the field. I made sure he was good. It's a competitive league, but we're all adults in our 20s and 30s, with real jobs and stuff, with families.
Right. So it's not like we're out there trying to get a tour card or nothing like that.
Correct.
Right.
I'm not out there trying to get looked at by a club. And, so in the end, he did try to take me out, but I don't want to see the guy hurt.
Right.
I felt terrible. So, but that was I can tell you the exact date. That was April 14th, 2015. I know the exact date.
Wow, that's pretty wild.
So I was like, it's a little sore, a little tender, a little hurt, but I was still playing. I was playing still 2 to 3 weeks a week and cycling. What I didn't know at the time is I was doing it on a fractured tibia and didn't know it was broken.
Oh.
It just felt like shin splints. So I was just full speed, full contact.
Just plodding
through. So I was playing indoor soccer, 5-on-5, and did a nice little nifty move to go off the boards to go around a guy, put my foot in the ground to accelerate. He held onto my shoulder so I couldn't get away. My foot stayed planted. My whole body rotated around my ankle and shattered it in 6 places.
Oh,
full spiral fracture.
Yikes.
It was completely free floating from mid shin down.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, my leg was at about a 40-degree angle and my toe was pointing that way.
Oh, the little Robin Ventura.
In my head.
You pulled yourself a little Robin Ventura. Remember when I don't know if you remember, he slid in. If you want to look up Robin Ventura.
I've seen. No,
yeah, he slides in a home plate, and I'm like, whoa,
can't watch it. Can't watch it.
It's one of those. It's one of those Joe Theismann kind of moments where it's just
Yeah. So for anyone that wants an idea of what I did, if you guys remember Alex Smith, what happened to him?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I did the same thing without it coming through the leg, the bone.
Yeah, it wasn't compound.
It was close. So. Break it call. The best part was calling my family. That was hilarious.
Hey, you guys what are you guys doing? You up anything? Hey, guess what?
No. So I'm a big jokester. I'm always joking with people on the phone and everything. But if I ever call you and I say, hey, listen up. If I start with listen up, some real stuff went down, right? So I call my mom. Mom, hey, listen up. She's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, hey, get to Valley. I'll be there in probably about 20 minutes. I just broke my leg playing soccer. It's pretty bad. She's like, oh, is your car okay? I'm like, what? Yes, my car's fine. It's parked. It's parked. It's fine. I'm not okay.
Yeah.
Just to get to Valley. So I call my dad.
Yeah, you played that down a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Dad. They called my dad. Dad played soccer. Dad played high-level soccer. He's done sports. He knew it all. I'm like, hey, Dad, man, I just broke my leg about mid-ankle. He goes, was it dangling? I'm like, yeah. He goes, oh, you're going to need surgery. I'm like, yeah. What happened? I was playing indoor. Oh man, is the car okay? Why are you checking on my car? My car is fine.
Both your parents are like, is the car cool? You guys, is the ride okay?
Yeah, you good? You good?
I wasn't playing Rocket League. My car's fine.
Okay, is the car okay? Car's fine. So then I called my girlfriend at the time, and I had to like compose myself for this phone call. So I'm like, "Hey, babe, what are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, I'm just hanging on the couch." I'm like, "You don't have your daughter this weekend, right?" She's like, "Oh, no, she's with her dad." I'm like, "Perfect. So you need to call my mom and get to Valley Medical Center. Is she okay? Oh, she's fine. Call my dad. Oh, is he okay? He's great." Dead silence. I'm like, "Yeah, so I broke my leg in half, and it's floppy, and I'm probably gonna have to have surgery. And I'm waiting for the paramedics to get here so they can take me out." Dead silence. You better not be joking with me. Why would I call you joking about this? This is not something I would call and joke about.
Right.
Just kidding. Haha, come out to dinner. No, my leg's broken. Like, I'm messed up.
Yeah.
So I go through all the fun surgery stuff the next day. And
yeah.
Yes, the DT of the car's fine.
Yeah, the car's fine. Still fine. I don't think he has the same car, but maybe
I don't have the same car. It's gone.
Okay. So good. But yeah, so I guess they put some hardware in
I have a titanium rod from my knee to my ankle, the full length of my tibia, and 3 screws.
Oh, and that's permanent. That's like IKEA. They just bolted it in there, and we're gonna keep it.
You can actually feel the square head bolts through my skin.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, I've got a whole titanium rod and 3 screws, and it was about 8 months of physical therapy. I had to learn how to walk again because I had nerve damage because it literally splintered off into my common pollineal nerve, which is by your fibula. And and then in the process, I discovered I had a blood clotting disorder I didn't know about and had 5 blood clots in my lungs and killed me. I was in ICU for 7 days.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so I have a doctor back in Seattle, my vascular surgeon, who calls me 20%. Because the type of embolisms I had, the mortality rate is about 82%.
Whoa!
So he calls me 20%.
Bloody hell!
So that's why they call me Bionic, because I shouldn't be here.
Right, and just like a DT, of course, he's always got the most appropriate. It's more Iron Man than Tony Stark. I would assume that's probably correct, and it's kind of interesting and a little scary that people who are at peak athletics, peak endurance, peak athleticism, peak energy, peak health, right? You'd be surprised how quickly it's like that. And all of a sudden you have one injury and all of it kind of down spirals to the point where you're actually not only, have some serious issues where you could have like literally 8 out of 10 chances that you would probably not be with us today.
I went from completely healthy, it's strongest I'd ever been, the slimmest looking 180 pounds you'd ever seen. Like I was 180, 190, and I looked like I weighed 160 because I was just so compact.
Right.
I went from perfectly healthy playing soccer to broken leg to dead in less than a month.
Insane. Well, we are glad that you got through all that and you are still, okay, so I'm sure you're probably pretty excited about not dying all the way completely forever. So that's kind of good. So good. So, I mean, I guess the question is after you're doing all that. So how did the whole like online persona, like how did your YouTube, Twitter, like any of your content creation, how did that kind of get started? Was it kind of an organic, hey, I'm just kind of hanging out, trying to convalesce and get back to good and try to find something, or like what was the impetus for kind of getting started with all your online career?
I had to find something to quell like the inner want to go kill things and run into things that was always in me, because I couldn't do that anymore. Like I was perfectly at home and completely content bleeding from the nose and running into people and trying to hurt them. Like that's just the way I was. Like I was wired that way. I couldn't do that anymore. I was always creative, but I always kind of put that to the side because I was having so much fun playing.
Right.
So I had to refocus that energy into something to being creative again. And it was rough. It was a tough transition because in my mind, I was still physically capable of doing that. Like, I strap on the shoes right now and go. But dude, you have 1.5 good working lungs and titanium in your leg. Slow down.
Right.
Like, dude, you can't do that. Like you can't be that guy. Like it's okay. Those days are behind you now. Now
it's tough.
it is depressing.
That must
I
have been
was
tough
depressed.
mentally as well.
I was gonna say
for quite some time. Like
I was going to ask about like the
Yeah.
mental impact, because now that's, the physical impact is clearly obvious, right? But then
man,
what comes with that is the realization, the mental impact of like, oh, okay, now I've got to kind of like change gears. And
any athlete at any level, if they're any type of like physical person, you always have this idea that you're going to write your own swan song. Like, I'm going to say, this is the last time I'm going to play.
Right.
This is the last time I can do this. Well, then something like this happens, and you don't get that. So it completely shatters your worldview about what happened. So I was going through it for a long time, and every year it was rough. It truly was pretty rough.
Yeah, and I guess I can imagine. It feels like it got like ripped, like it like literally got stolen or ripped away from you. It's like
correct.
You didn't get to have the control of your own destiny. That sucks.
Going in for a routine checkup where they were going to check on my IVC filter and my internal stuff, and them telling me, we're probably going to have to leave it, which means you can't play any contact sports anymore, because if this ruptures, you're dead in 7 minutes. All right. Wow. I guess that's it. As I'm laying sedated in a hospital bed, not being able to move and just crying my eyes out because I can't do anything. That was it. I said somebody just come in, look at my neck with an ultrasound, and go, well, you're done. Walk away.
Yeah. Just like they just told you that you need a new transmission, right? Yeah.
Correct. Yes. You need new tires. And then
toodles. Good on you. Have a good day.
Yeah. Oh, man, so it was rough. Hard. But I kind of plugged along up in Seattle, just, stayed involved in the soccer community, stayed going to games and, cheering on my friends. And then the opportunity with my job came up to move here to Vegas. I work for a wholesale distributor of bowling products. So I bowled all my life too. So we had a warehouse in Seattle that I ran for 3 years, and they really wanted to expand here to Vegas. And I said, hey, I'm in, I'll do it. I mean, that's just me. I don't have any kids. I wasn't married at the time. I can do it. It's a lateral move for me. Plus, the weather here is so much more stable, and with all my arthritis and everything with my problems, it feels comfortable. Like, I'm great. I'm good here. So that came up. So I came down here in February 2020, and then the world shut down a month after I got here.
Right.
It was eerie having Vegas quiet, but that's when it really, really kicked in for me. I had started kind of, watching the tech guy, like Easy Computer Solutions and Tech Team Mike and all those guys. I was watching their live streams as I was down here, set everything up, because I had nothing to do in my hotel room. So I was like, oh, these guys seem pretty cool. So I started watching them and getting involved in the chats. And then I got to the point where I was like, holy, I'm in a whole new city by myself. This is kind of rough. I need to do something creative. So I bought a Sony A6000 on eBay for dirt cheap and got back into photography, and the rest is where I am now.
Cool. So speaking of the photography, yeah. So I see we're followers. At least I know, Joe, you follow him on Instagram, right?
I love his pro wrestling.
Yeah, the wrestling stuff. I'm not really a big wrestling fan. I mean, I kind of remember, kind of being in the periphery when it was all the red and black and all that kind of stuff back in the day. I just remember Scott Hall because he would do that dance, and I just remember him taking a toothpick out of his mouth and just flicking it, and it's stuck in a guy's beard. I was like, that guy's awesome. Like, yeah. So, I didn't get much into it, but also the music, like the rock stuff. I mean, look, you take fantastic shots. I mean, if you don't have a lot of they're just fantastic. Just the videos and the pictures and your Instagram is just, I mean, for a person who just kind of likes to look at that kind of stuff and isn't really into that scene, it's really fascinating to just kind of watch your content. I really enjoy your Instagram. Actually,
I've always been a pro wrestling fan. I mean, I'm wearing a shirt right now.
Yeah.
But it's fun to shoot the independents because these are a lot of people that are young in their careers and really working their tails off to get to the next level. And some of them are at the next level and haven't forgot where they've come from. They come back and to help out and train and teach. And being on the backside of that, as a fan first, it makes the way I shoot different because I understand the storytelling and ring psychology of a pro wrestling match. So I will always be in position to catch the emotion, the moment.
Yeah.
The action shot, because I don't know what's coming, but I know what should be happening.
Right.
Yeah.
So I put myself in the position to get that shot. And
One you put up today is awesome.
I have a pretty simple mindset. It's treat people good and take dope photos.
Right.
Everything else falls into play.
Yeah.
So I just treat everybody with respect, and I take care of the talent, and they take care of me. So.
Yeah. Well, it kind of reminds me of like what I tell my daughters, but basically the rule number one is don't be a dick, because here's the thing: when you get older in life and you get into situations in professional careers, if you're a nice person, you almost don't have to be competent. You almost can get away with just being a nice person. Sometimes. And they're like, it's like, hey, well, we like Scoop. He's not great at his job. He's okay, but he's just such a nice guy. We can't get rid of him, right? We can't fire him because he's just a nice guy. He's good in the office. He's a good team guy. And but if you're really competent and just a hateful human to be around, no matter what, company's gonna get rid of you. So I always tell people, just be chill with people, treat people with decency, respect, and then take some dope photos. I like that's a good approach to life. I didn't have the dope photos part, but I'm gonna kind of use that.
Oh, don't worry. There's about 10,000 bad ones to get to the dope ones. So
right. Well, and the cool part is like everybody's taking photos in those like wrestling or they may not be fans of that. They may just be professional photographers who aren't really like, they're just like, hey, I'm here to take photos. So you're taking it from a fan's perspective on top of the fact that you kind of know what's coming. Like I said, it's kind of it's a different approach than any just regular sports photographer.
Correct.
Because you may have somebody who's taking pictures at a baseball game who doesn't even like baseball. He's just doing it because it's a job that pays the bills.
I think what's good about his images is what he said about getting the emotion in the image, and you can really see it.
Yeah, some of them are just fantastic. Like you can just feel the energy. Like there was one I saw was just, I looked like a black and white. It was just a guy standing there, and it was just like you could just feel the energy in this just really simple shot. It was no background. It was just a powerful image, almost like something that you would see out of like a news report or like a historical event where you take a shot of something that's like. That is just a picture that tells 1,000 words. That's what I like. It's not just an image just to look at it.
To answer DT's question, how do you get away with taking people? They almost always run away when I approach them with the bag. I don't approach them. I don't approach people. Like I'm very much like when I go out to Fremont, I am in the background in the shadows. I might get up front with my long lens for like taking the concert photos, but I don't bother people. 9 times out of 10, I've got headphones in. And
just kind of to be focused on it.
And it's not even to be focused. It's just not to be bothered. Because let me tell you about shooting on Fremont. The more alcohol people have, they see a camera and assume you're going to take a picture of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't tell you how many times I'm lining up a shot, like I'm taking pictures for a band for them, like I got to get this for their Instagram, and I get this drunken tap on my shoulder, and I turn and look, and it's just some woman that's got like a half a drink, and she's like, "You gonna take the picture?" No, I'm not.
I'm not happy.
Hell no.
Nah, I'm not feeling that right now.
Number one, I've got a 50 to 140 lens right now, so if I try to take a picture, I'm literally going to take a picture into your soul because your face is going to be like right here,
right,
like right here.
Yeah, you should just do it and then show them the image. You have to.
This is a terrible photo. I know it's because I'm using a long lens and you're 2 feet in front of the camera.
Yeah. Oh wow, the inside of my nostril, fantastic. Right? Yeah, not so much. Yeah, no, definitely not for sharing. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
you want this for your IG? I can send it to you.
Yeah. It's just like, no, we're not doing that. So yeah, I didn't. As a matter of fact, I didn't even think about that. The fact that there would be so much. I mean, obviously you're trying to take the shot and you're doing work, but the fact that you would have alcohol and people kind of engaging you, kind of awkward, like cringy almost kind of moments, like just go away, leave me alone, let me do my job. And I need to get paid. I got to take some photos, and you're not helping. So why don't you go away? Yeah,
I already don't want to be here. Go away.
Right. I really didn't think about it from that approach. So that's funny that you mentioned that because I'm like, oh yeah, when you mention like that, I'm like, yeah, that could be a little bit.
So Scoop, that selfie picture you took, was that them getting in the way, or was that you from a distance?
Which one?
Selfie, the only chain smoker one. I commented about the chain smoker.
Oh yeah, that was like I was like almost 65 yards away from them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was with my zoom lens.
I could feel the joy the women had taking selfies.
I'm watching them and I was sitting back. I was like, are they really taking multiple selfies. So I was like, I used the lens just to see what was going on. So I pulled up the camera to my eye and I'm like, let me just zoom in. I'm like, oh, they are totally influencers. All right, click.
Yeah. So it's a great picture. I love it.
Yeah. So we have a little bit of tech news to talk about. So what I guess what phones do you usually use? Like do you I know do you have a bunch? Do you have one and you just kind of rotate through it? You just kind of SIM swap as you need it? How does your mobile device usage usually look on a general?
I'm pretty static. Like for a while I had an iPhone and I had the S22 Ultra and I was rotating those. And then I'm doing some testing for Dish Network under Project Genesis. So I have a Motorola Edge 30, the Edge 30 Ultra, like their top of the line one.
So how do you feel about the Motorola? Like I know generally that's not a phone that gets covered or talked about.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's a good little phone. But right now, like I sold the iPhone.
Okay.
And I actually sent the S22 Ultra to my dad.
Okay.
And I've just got a Pixel 6 Pro.
There you go.
Nice.
It's just that Motorola.
Yeah, Joe's approving of that. He has a Pixel 6 Pro.
Definitely.
Well, I have the 6. I did not get the Pro. I just got the 6 because I'm just, I guess, sad and basic. So I do like my 6 though.
You're missing out with the telephoto.
I know. I really am. So, but that's okay because I've got the hotness. So and as everybody, I got the hotness. So I still have my Duo, but I did take actually what interesting was. I took the Pixel to the concert on Monday. I was actually on my birthday last Monday. I went to Cincinnati to see 5 Seconds of Summer. My daughter had tickets. And I will tell you this much. There was a couple of songs where the audio was totally distorted and blown out. And I wasn't really close. And I noticed that when I took it with my 1520, I saw them 4 or 5 years ago, and I took it with the 15. I didn't get the same response. Like, I don't know what it is about. Maybe I didn't have it set up right. Maybe – so it could have been operator error. It's very possible. But I noticed that a couple when I listened back to the 10, I did a 1080p and then 4K. Man, the audio is totally blown out. It's totally distorted. Like I can't even almost make out some of the music. It's really bad. So who knows? But
yeah, controlling audio on the mobile side is not fun unless you have an external.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, that Lumia 1520, though, it handled a lot of really loud direct sound a lot better. I don't know if it was just the microphone captures. That Lumia did a pretty good job. Even looking at the videos now, I was like, wow, I took both videos and saw, man, this Lumia handled a lot of loud sounds pretty well, actually, compared to anything else.
Yeah, Joe, it was pretty good.
What do you got? What question?
Yeah, I'm still here.
You got questions? I don't want to be. It's the Sam and Joe. It's both of us. I want you to ask questions.
Yeah. I was listening. Let's talk more about the Pixel.
Right. So now we got the 6A coming out. Right. So did you get it? Are you going to
Pixel?
Yeah. Are you going to get a 6A? Like how? What? Like have you? I mean, I know obviously with the 6 Pro, kind of having 6A is not.
No, I'm not. Because I have the 6 Pro, I'm not getting the 6A. That's not because I don't want the 6A. I just don't need it.
Right.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds. But so what do you think about the narrative about people like really kind of complaining about the screen and I guess at 4. I just like
definitely.
It's like what are you gonna do? I don't understand it. It's like what? Yeah, it doesn't have wireless charge. Yeah, it's got a 60 hertz refresh screen, but good lord, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
People are insufferable and cannot be happy.
Yep.
Yeah,
I work in retail. Know that.
Simple things. These are the same people that will buy a Toyota Corolla and complain it doesn't go as fast as Lamborghini, and then call it trash because it doesn't go as fast as Lamborghini. It's not designed to go as fast as Lamborghini.
Right.
It's a damn Corolla.
Plus, you can repair it. You ever try? Go ahead, take your Lamborghini to a shop and go. Hey, just take it to a local guy and go. Hey, can you fix this car? Like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. Your Toyota Corolla and your Honda Civic, yes, we could fix, or your Ford Mustangs or your whatever. We can fix that because we can get parts. Lamborghini, it's like I don't understand what people. I mean, and also you're in that. Again, I hate always using the vehicle as a comparison, as an analogy, but it's basically like you have to buy the phone or you have to buy the device that works for you. Like I know a lot of people. I would not recommend the Duo 2 to anybody. I know nobody, not a soul. And I know a lot of people with different kinds of engagement, different kinds of workflow, and there's nobody that I can think of that would work for. it isn't. And so I let them look at it and go, oh, that's kind of cool. And they think it's kind of neat and I can fold. And then I move on with my life. But they all have iPhones or Samsungs or Pixels or Motorola's or whatever. So I think that, yeah, you're right. The conversation just gets to the point where it's just like, no matter what they do, they could have every box check and somebody's still going to find something to bitch about it. It's just like,
it's a lot like having a camera kit, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
I can show up to some place and let's say it's a travel thing. I'm gonna go travel for a bit, right? Now I could take my entire kit on my back. I could have all 4 of my lenses. I can have both my bodies, yada yada yada. Or, hear me out, I can travel light, take a single fixed 23 millimeter, something like an X100V from Fuji, and be good. I got my phone if I need reach. I got my Pixel. Yeah. I'm not out here. Yep. I'm out here to shooting professional gigs. I'm traveling. I just want to get cool shots while I'm traveling.
Right.
It's okay to grab the correct tool. Sometimes you don't need your full kit. That's overkill.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I say that about a lot of phones. So a lot of people that buying like S22 Ultras don't need that. It's overkill.
No.
It's overkill.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just the processing power, especially considering what most of people are going to be doing is social media.
My God, you need to type faster on Instagram. I need an S22 Ultra.
No, you don't.
I need to take better selfies for Snapchat. That's
Chat snaps, and the TikTok is the Instagrams and stuff.
I know the S Pen just stays in the body, just sits in the body all the time.
Out at all.
Right? Never.
No, Joe, I kid you not. I'm walking down the strip, and there's a lady trying to take a selfie with her S22 Ultra, and she's like, she can't get it out right. I'm like, if you pull the pen out and click the button, it'll work like a shutter for you. You can take a picture. She was like, what? She pulls it out.
There's a pen.
I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know it did that.
Like, what kind of magic is that?
A $1,500 phone and doesn't even know what it does.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy. Isn't it?
A lot of people I talk to, they have all sorts of devices, iPhones and Android devices. They have no idea. When you show them stuff, they're like, "Huh, when's that been a thing?" Pretty much since like, I don't know, forever. That's pretty much how it works. Yeah. That's why yeah, okay, sure, whatever, man.
It's like it's done that since the Pixel 5 or the right. But the Note 5. The Note 5. It's been the buttons worked since the Note 5.
Mm-hmm. Which I agree with Shark. It does have great niche appeal, but it's definitely not. I would say it's not only definitely not for everyone. It's I don't think it's for a lot. And I'm glad that Microsoft finally acknowledged they didn't try to they probably only made 50,000 of them. Like, look, we're not going to try to market this thing. People who know just know, and I think at this point they're kind of just realizing, okay, we'll have maybe a Duo 3 next year, and that's about it. And then they're probably gonna do what Microsoft normally does, which is basically shutter it and be done with it, and that's fine. And that's okay. I mean, that's fine with me. But I don't understand the narrative behind the 60 hertz refresh and the no wireless charging. The 4 this 4. Well, other phones have it. I said, yeah, but if you're an American, you don't have access to a nothing phone. You don't have access to a Xiaomi. You don't have access to Oppo. You don't have now. You can get it, and if you have T-Mobile,
you don't have direct access. Put it that way,
right? And then most people who don't know how, I'm sure if they don't know how their stylus on their S22 Ultra works, I don't think they're going to understand the concept of GizTop. Okay, or and so I don't like
these people know.
Yeah, and then it's just silly. I mean, I think if for a $449 device for a device you can walk into a Best Buy or Carrier or whatever you get, I think you're doing pretty well. I mean, you're going to get a lot of the same features that you're going to get on most phones.
Before I really got into the content creation side of it, I've always been like a nerdy techie person, and I had an Essential phone, right?
Mm-hmm. I did too.
Yeah, I love that thing. I knew where people were when I was out with that phone. I was actually getting propane for work for our forklifts. And the guy looks at me and he goes, "Oh, which iPhone is that?" I was like, "What?
Oh my gosh.
Do you see an Apple logo on the back of this thing?" No. Like, what?
Dude, you're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
And that's when honestly, Sam, that's when it clicked. I was like, people don't care. If they want Apple or Samsung, and they don't care.
Right.
They don't care.
Right.
They really don't care.
And Dan, on our friend of the show, Dan, Grounded Tech, he does have a nothing phone. He went to the event in London and he picked one up and he's been pretty happy. I think 3 days in or 4 days in, he's liking the battery life. He's really enjoying it. I mean, again, you had a live stream earlier today. I was kind of listening to him, and he was talking about the lights and stuff like that in the back. And yeah, I mean, I think for a phone that is a stock Android device, that it's like it's kind of like, I guess, the spiritual successor to the Essential phone, right? Kind of a basic phone.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, it has a little bit more traction than Essential, because I was really hoping for a PH2. I think a lot of fans were just praying it would go out there. It was such a great.
That was so good.
Oh, it was just it was just it was like honestly, the size of the phone and just this, and it was getting updates for like ever. I mean, it just would not. It was like the little engine they could, man. It just kept chugging along. And I even like the stuff, the Razer phones, right? I like the fact that I like as many OEMs getting into the game and getting out there and taking a swing for the fences, man. I mean, just like I'm afraid that in 5 to 7 years it's just going to be an Apple and Samsung world, and I just don't want to live in that world. I just don't.
Going back to what I said, like people just want Samsung or Apple. Like the A53, I would pick the Pixel 6a or the Nothing phone over the A53.
Oh God, yeah.
But the A53 will sell loads more.
Yeah. It's just disappointing. And
the nicest way I could put it is that phone is the drizzling shits.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Yep.
Oh,
loads.
He's always got to be, even when he's on. Yeah, you know, it's whatever. We will discuss this later when you've calmed down.
He's got a fish right now. Really new.
Yeah, it's good. But yeah, I know our basically Lenny's been rocking the 6A. He's taking some. He had the cigar selfie because
I saw it.
Yeah, it's very good. So he's liking it. I mean, and like I said, and again, granted, we're all fans of the Pixel, and so, but I also realize that it's okay to be a fan of something, but it's okay. You don't need to be open-minded to all their possibilities and other applications of devices, and be okay with the fact that, the Duo 2 isn't for everyone. The Samsung Galaxy Fold 3, the Z Flip isn't for everyone. And that's what you have to kind of do. You have to kind of just let it go and just realize that, you may want a Ford Ranger. You may need a Chevy Astro van if you're going to do stuff, or if you want to rock a Lamborghini or a Toyota Corolla, it's okay too. There can't be. There's enough food at the table for everyone. I mean, I just don't want to be in a world where you just have just Samsung and Apple, and that's all there is, and that's it. It just depresses me, the fact that it might be a possibility.
Having a conversation on a different platform, I heard someone was going on and on about how it was camera related. How Nikon isn't relevant. I don't know any creators that use Nikon. I said, okay, whoa, time out. Whoa.
Okay.
Personal foul, holding, offense, red card, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Like, just because you aren't aware of it doesn't mean it's not relevant.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Nikon has never been a video-centric brand, so why would video creators lean into Nikon?
Right. It's just not their wheelhouse.
It's not their wheelhouse. Their wheelhouse is and always will be still photography. Now, with that being said, the Z7 Mark II and the Z9 are absolute beasts for video.
Yeah.
But they come with the stigma of being Nikon. Now, I've had people say the same thing about Panasonic, yet here I am sitting on a beautiful Panasonic camera. If you notice, there's no autofocus problems. I continue autofocus. If you set it up right, and don't push your tool outside its operating parameters. Hint, hint, everyone.
Right. Stay in your lane.
When you keep your tools in the lane they're designed to be in, they work great.
Right. Yeah. And Yara makes a good comment here. Samsung more in markets where brand is integrated into the mindset of most consumers. Right. Google. And I will tell you that I will tell you on the Google 6, on the Pixel 6, and I think even TK mentioned that he saw a 6A ad. I don't know on what media. I don't know if it was media or internet or whatever TV. But there have been a whole lot more of Google Pixel 6 commercials on TV.
With them partnering with the NBA was huge, and getting the Pixel 6 to be the official phone of the NBA.
Right. Yeah. They have. I have seen a significant push to the center. The chips in the middle on Google's marketing. They have definitely made sure that they have put it out there, and I think it's making. Folks, as much as you hate to say it, the 2 or 3 brands that actually are visible are Google, Samsung, Apple, and they are constantly. Hell, Apple never has to run an ad ever again, and they'll sell every iPhone and Pixel or Apple Watch and MacBook and everything else. You don't even have to advertise anymore. It's almost comical because they've done the legwork. They have done the things that have made them, for better or worse, the marketing behemoth. So, hey, you know what? I mean, it's whatever. I use an iPhone for work because I have to. I don't have a choice. And that's the way it goes. I mean, it's, Lumia never, Windows Phone never was out there. People didn't know it was a thing. Nexus has really never heard of them, right? And Essential Phone, I never saw an ad for that. All these phones, LG, and what was the banger about LG always, right?
Okay.
LG's not
All
out
right.
there trying to do it, right?
I have my whole thoughts on LG.
Okay.
And
I'd like to hear that.
So I have always felt that LG treated their mobile division as basically a way to wash cash and get it out. Wash debt, basically. If you notice, that always operated in debt, but no other part of their company operated in debt.
No.
So how do you clear money? You come to the United States and clear it as tax write-offs.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely felt like there was an ulterior motive or something else was going on. They never always had a real comprehensive strategy. And I think a lot of times too is I find it mildly ironic that people who are not in marketing and people who are not in sales or strategy know exactly what companies are doing. They're not in the boardroom. They have no idea, but better. Like they're just accidentally, there's a bunch of smart people just completely stepping all over their cheese, right? They have no idea what the hell they're doing. But you in the middle of Missouri, you've had it all figured out, right? You know how the LG's marketing approach is.
It just felt that way. Like it's just, they've got this great technology, but they're not pushing it. Well, why would you spend advertising money on a clearinghouse for money that you're trying to get rid of? Like you're trying to clear debt. Why create more that way?
Yeah,
it was never a priority for them, was it?
No,
it never was.
And I think it's a shame too, because then you had a lot of people who became big fans of the brand. I personally have a Wing. I still have the Wing, and I'm going to keep it just because it's just, but I also have my 1520 and my Lumia 950.
Oh, the G3. I think it was G3.
Yeah. I mean, but I Scoop, I don't disagree with that. I think it's a really good approach. And again, without knowing for sure, but I mean,
that's just a theory. I don't have any insight on what LG was doing. I'm not an insider. I don't have any leaks or anything. It's just seeing how other companies in that position have operated to clear things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Lenny's agreeing with you too. He's talking about the NBA. The Pixel NBA partnership was huge. Yeah, that's enormous. Well, I mean, look at the NBA. Just as far as just visibility. I mean, it's here's what I always tell people. Your league's banger when your guys are riding the bench and they're crushing max contracts. You got guys that are basically putting up like 5 points a game, 15 minutes, 4 rebounds, and they're making $30 million a year. Then you got the best hockey players in the world. They're lucky they can crush a $9 million a year contract.
Can't crack 20 for their whole duration of their career or their contract. Excuse me.
Yeah, and that's the NBA's visibility as far as in the mainstream media and as far as a sport. I know the NFL is huge too, but man. The NBA is. I mean, I wish we had a team in St. Louis. I would totally.
It's global. People forget it is a truly global brand.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And some of that, and I like the fact that all these other places in Europe and people and countries they're becoming really super competitive. I'm like, it wasn't the back in the days of the
first dream team.
The dream team, yeah. When we go there and crush Angola by 245 points. I mean, teams are very competitive, even almost better than some American teams. I mean, that basketball has become. Literally, like you said, it's a global.
Yeah, Lithuania.
Yeah, I mean, just fantastic. Some of the biggest NBA players are not Native Americans. They are from other countries, and it's pretty cool. I like I said, I wish we had an NBA team in St. Louis. I would really like that to happen. So speaking of sport, apparently you are quite a big football soccer fan. I know a lot of you and Joe were having a discussion on players you had met and all that kind of stuff. It's interesting to see. A lot of people we have on the show, myself included, don't really have a lot of exposure to MLS or FIFA or the English Premier League. I've actually just picked it up on the periphery, just from having Joe and Matt on the show. I tried to figure it out.
I grew up playing since I could walk. I mean, one of the first photos they have of me when I was like less than 2 years old is in a Kansas City Royals jacket, living in Kansas City, kicking a soccer ball.
Right. Yeah.
So I played up until I broke my leg at 33. So, I mean, it's always been an integral part of my life. I was a season ticket holder for the Sounders when I lived up in Seattle from 2013 to when I moved.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've seen.
Scoop, you much of a guy? Have you played FIFA on PlayStation or anything before?
Oh yeah, I don't play as much as I used to. I'm more of a Call of Duty guy, but I do play.
Yeah,
Oh.
me too.
I would be,
See, I
but
like-
apparently I used to play with Matt a lot, and apparently I'm terrible at it to the point where he'd have me in matches. It'd be me, TK, and Matt. And he'd just like, "Hey, mate, just run around, and then if you run out in the middle and
Just
they'll
run
shoot
around.
at you, then we know where they're at. You basically are bait."
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Operation Human Shield with Sam.
Yeah, that was it. I was just like, "Oh, okay," because I just run around the map and just like grab weapons, and I didn't care about loadouts. I'm like, just I'm like
Operation. We call you Operation Human Shield.
That's what I was. Yeah, I was just out there.
The
Go
bullet
out there in the
magnet.
middle,
Headless chicken.
be open, and let
The
everybody know.
bullet magnet. Yeah,
Yeah, I was bullet catcher. Yeah, it was pretty good. So yeah, my Call of Duty days were not very good at all. It was pretty embarrassing.
I think in my heyday in like Modern Warfare 3, I was like ranked 3rd in the world in domination on PlayStation.
Oh,
But yeah, I don't play like that anymore. No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah,
That's too much work.
Yeah.
Dude, you're a talented guy. Touched. Everything you touch, you do well.
I
one of them
blame
people that
the
just-
ADHD. I have to get good at it. Like I have to. Like I have
Right.
to. Like
Yeah.
I have to. Like if I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna do it all the way. Like I don't
Right.
just.
You're going all in. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't just like, oh, let me dabble in this. I'm like, all right, let me grab this theory book about this. Let me start reading this. And let me get into this.
Yeah,
let me
that's
get into this.
Lazy.
yeah, and yeah, Lenny made his comment. Yeah, Jason Tatum, he's a St. Louis kid. Yeah, he's actually. And funny thing is, he's in commercials in St. Louis talking about like Emo's Pizza and stuff like that. So yeah, it's yeah, you can Google it if you want to. But yeah, well, I was hoping he was going to get a ring. I thought the Celtics actually had a chance, and also too, I'm just kind of tired of Golden State. I was kind of hoping that Celtics could pull one off because I know they're a pretty good solid team, and Jason would have got himself a ring. But yeah, what are you going to do, right? You can't always get what you want, right?
Too young, too inexperienced. They haven't been there yet. They'll be all right next time.
Yeah, so it's good. Yeah, third on PlayStation's. Yeah, see, Dan, we were like 20K on Xbox.
I had them both, but I only played Call of Duty on PlayStation. That's all my friends are.
Yeah, it's all. Yeah,
The Scoop. Who was the best footballer you've seen play live?
Oh God, in person?
Mm.
Ooh boy. Oh,
a big
Jesus.
question. Sorry,
Messi.
Oh, you've seen Messi live? Oh wow.
So how that
Yeah,
happened?
that's-
I'm curious. That's a pretty. I even know who Lionel Messi is. I mean,
It was a friendly between Barcelona and Seattle.
Nice.
how they do.
Oh, they crushed Seattle. It wasn't close. Like it was,
Okay. Let's just
It's
check. I
6-1,
figured as much. I don't know. I just thought you'd say like, yeah, they actually held their own. Like, nah, you guys get your ass.
I've seen Messi play. I've seen Marco Royce and Matt Hummels. I've seen
So you
Thierry
saw Thierry
Henry.
Henry? Yeah.
I've seen Thierry Henry when he was with the Red Bulls. I've seen Zlatan. Seen Carlos
Oh,
Vela.
yeah.
Seen oh God, I've seen a lot of really good players.
Carlos Vela loves a chipped goal.
I've seen Pirlo. Watch Pirlo play.
Oh yeah, amazing player.
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah,
we're pretty
dominated
excited.
midfield.
I'm excited because in St. Louis next year, we St. Louis City FC begins their
Prepare to have
entry.
your heart extremely broken for about 2 years.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. I've been around the block when it comes to expansion teams. Yeah, it's been pretty bad. So I'm just glad
The MLS can be competitive. It can be. I just hate the fact they have salary caps, but that's a whole other.
Yeah. Well, I just generally don't believe in salary caps because I think that eventually the teams that are, I know they talk about.
People circumvent them.
I was gonna say there's a way to circumvent it. You can loan players and all that kind of stuff. So
It's
Scoop,
even
I've got to
worse.
ask. With Arsenal signed 2 American players. Matt Turner.
He
You
can
know
play.
much about him? And is he any good? Yeah. He's going to be a reserve keeper, but
He can play.
and the other one is Austin Trusty, out on loan.
Yeah, he's all right. Austin's
I
all
don't know
right.
if you heard.
He's not
Is
quite.
he
He
all right?
hasn't quite gotten the call up to the national team consistently, but he's all right.
Yeah, we've put him out on loan to I think Birmingham, in the UK.
now that doesn't happen very often, right? For an EPL team to actually grab an American-born
Oh, it
player.
happens more than you think.
Okay, I was just curious. I don't know. Like I said, I don't hear many.
Yeah.
Like I know Tim Howard. I know the big ones. I know, but it seems like they seem to goalkeepers seem to do like the Tony Miola, Tim Howard. It seems like goalkeepers they have a good chance. But I don't hear a lot of. I just didn't know.
Yeah,
I
often
don't know if
you
that's
do produce good goalkeepers. To be fair,
Yeah.
So I'm just curious. I don't know. That seems to be apparently more
the Premier League, not so much. You'll see them a lot in Spain and Germany.
Okay.
Which again, good leagues. I mean, it's not the Premier League, but they're still good.
Right.
Yeah, brilliant leagues. Yeah,
they're really good leagues, and they're really good players there. But there haven't been many prolific field players from the States in the Premier League. Clint Dempsey was one of them. Landon Donovan had spurts, but he was never really good at Everton.
Right.
No,
Clint Dempsey was solid. That dude was scoring for everybody. Be it Fulham or Tottenham, he was scoring. That's what the dude does. Pulisic is pretty good. I thought Chelsea didn't put him in the right spot initially. They had him kind of out of position.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest, they were trying to defeat a striker that couldn't put the ball in the back, and then they're not going to mention any names. But they got him back in his natural position. He's playing really well.
Yeah, Pulisic is big. I was upset Chelsea got him.
Yeah, I just didn't know if that was something that, and I know, and now they have these players played a lot of MLS, or is it just guys that just were pretty good, like maybe in college? Like I know in St. Louis, SLU is a huge, actually in the collegiate ranks. Apparently, St. Louis University is pretty good, pretty well known, and I know a lot of players, but I don't know if they make that transition from going from the early 20s and kind of like either transition MLS to get over to Spain and Germany, and then kind of transition to champion or EPL leagues. But I'm not sure what that glide path looks. It's a lot more open in football as opposed to like in Major League Baseball. It's pretty obvious.
It depends on when you were noticed per se. Because there's a lot of guys that went to college that have been through academy teams overseas, so they already know about them.
Okay.
They've been through different academies and different high-level Premier League or Premier teams that travel and play over there, and they've been seen in front of these guys, and they're already on the radar. So,
okay, yeah, I'm
luck involved, isn't there as well?
There's a lot of luck involved. Because there's a lot of guys that have been incredible that just never got the break in the Premier League. Yet you see them starting on national teams,
right,
and playing well on the national team level.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the perfect examples would be DeAndre Yedlin when he was 17 years old, starting for the Sounders in the MLS. He makes the 2014 World Cup squad. Completely handles Eden Hazard for almost 120 minutes, and kept Eden Hazard under control for 120 minutes. And Eden was at the top of his game at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Ends up in the Premier League in the next year. It can
happen.
Well, Scoop, we're going to have you on again just to talk football. I mean, really, that's all. Apparently, we're just basically scratching the surface. We're staying high level here, but and then Joe's like, "Wow, somebody's actually on here that actually knows what the hell's going on when it comes to EPL and teams and players." I'm like, this is pretty. I for the first time in the show, which is fantastic. I feel like I'm kind of just going to sit here and listen to you guys talk about it. It's actually it's kind of nice. I kind of like it. I'm digging it.
Sam, we're going to get you into soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. We'll get you into it.
Now that he's got a squad to go watch locally, he'll go.
Yeah. Oh, I'm absolutely. I mean, I will definitely go. I mean, and then apparently they're having a new stadium built, so it's kind of cool. I mean, I think I'm really, really looking forward to going to a couple of games a year and kind of.
I will say this about football matches: the brilliance of them is, you know exactly how long they're pretty much going to be. You'll be in and out in 3.5 hours at the most. At the most.
And I like the fact that it's the new stadium. The pitch is downtown, and that's where I work. So they may have like a gentleman special, like in baseball, like a midday game going on. I might just kind of find a way to say, "Hey, boss, I'm gonna go take a walk down to Union Station and go check out St. Louis FC." So I'm really looking forward to it. St. Louis actually is a pretty big soccer city as far as in the United States. I mean, there's a lot of teams, a lot of interest around here. So and then Barry says, today's show, apparently Joe and Scoop don't know, we're having a 2-hour marathon because the back end is going to be nothing but football and soccer the whole time on the back end. So Barry apparently is keeping me on the
Me and Scoop can play my team.
Yeah, I can just drop off and you guys can just kibitz about the footballs and stuff like that. So, again, it's, as always, we love having you on the show, and it's and fascinating about, I've seen you on Hollow's streams, and I kind of see you pop in and out and kind of thing, and I've always been a fan of your work on Instagram and everything else. But you never really, because everybody kind of already knows you. I never was like, I always like to have people on to let them tell the stories, because Bionic Soup looked like a cool name, and there had to be something behind that. It didn't just seem to be something random out of the air, and also just to get to know the people that we interact with in the tech space is pretty cool. So I'm very, very excited and happy that you decided to spend some time with us today on our show. It's been a pleasure as always.
It's fun. A lot of people see me on the stream, and he's like laughing, joking around. Like this is me all the time. Like I'm not turning the camera on and acting like someone I'm not. Like this is me. If you DM me, if you text me, you call me, I'm the same person.
Right.
On with the cameras on and when the camera's off. Only difference is when the camera's off, I don't want to be around most people. So
yeah, I can appreciate that for sure. I've had enough human interaction for one day, kind of thing.
As living in Las Vegas, people think, a party. Like for the most part, I stay away from the Strip and Fremont unless I have to be there, or I have someone in town that I really want to see. I'll go down there. But I am perfectly content sitting at home and cleaning my cameras and editing photos and trying new things with that editing to just elevate things to a different level. And
speaking of that, Joe, did you not just edit a video for the Purposely Pixel YouTube channel? So if you're not paying attention, that's where you need to be. That's who is gracious enough to host our show. Check them out. You guys are doing a lot of good 6A content. I got Lenny up there, and then
there's loads. Lenny's got a few in the works.
Good deal. Yeah, so check them out. So if you're looking to pick up a Pixel 6, if you don't have one, you probably should. Just saying. And then check out their channel, right? Purposely Pixel, our YouTube. They're really good folks. So Lenny does a great job, and everybody else on the team is fantastic. And for your Pixel 6a, you probably want to get a skin, because you don't want to just have just 3 colors. Why not have hundreds of colors or dozens of colors, or have something where it doesn't get scratched up?
Where's the best place for skins?
The best place would be extremeskins.co.uk. That's
Sam. Where's the best place to get your skin?
Yeah, extremeskins.co.uk. Get you some. They're great, fantastic. Absolutely. They ship to the United States, so you have really no. It's a UK company. They're not going to send stuff to me. No, they will send it to you, right to your house. They'll just mail it to you, just like the mail. UPS it, whatever. You call them, they'll get you taken care of. Lots of great colors, really competitive prices. Good guys over there. You got a problem? Email them. If you put it on wrong, like I did, they'll probably roast you on Twitter. They'll do it publicly right in front of you. They'll let you know that you ain't about shit. They'll basically blast you if you put it on wrong. I put on my PS4 skin they sent me, and I made a small mistake, and boy, did they hell of a catch it. They will let you know. Fantastic guys. Check them out.
This is how you sell a sponsor.
Right. They're fantastic, man. Reach out to them. Extremeskins.co.uk. Check them out. And also, they got sales all the time. Free shit. I mean, they have like 15%
free shit. Yeah.
Free shit. I don't get the free shit. You guys get the free shit. Me,
they literally have deals all the time.
They had a 15% off.
They rarely give it full price.
And they got a ton. I mean, you'd be surprised. It's not just like
apples
and Samsung.
They often have buy one get one,
a lot of choices.
Yeah, and they've got console skins too, so it's not just your phones, man. They are really good. I mean, you'd be surprised. I know a lot of people think that they're just because they're not a company you've ever like majorly heard of. They're not the biggest company in the world. You think that they have a really small selection. They skin all sorts of shit. Like the Steam Deck. Do they have that already available? Get you some.
Yeah, Steam Deck. They do XM4s. They probably do XM5s. They do different headphones, buds. They do all sorts. They do a few laptops as well.
Yeah.
I know they do the Dell one.
And they're actually going to do Scoop's chair. At someday they're going to get a skin for his chair he's sitting in right now. They're going to skin that too.
Should skin the whole wall. Just go.
Skin everything. Right.
Skin everything. Yeah.
Skin
my tripod. Skin my SD cards. Let's go.
Right. Extremeskins.co.uk. Check them out. Purposely Pixel. Check them out as well. And we're running up on the hour. So
Sam.
Scoop. Yeah.
Sam, just quickly. You might be doing videos for the Purposely Pixel channel, mightn't you?
Well, thinking about the duo.
Trying to persuade him.
He's trying to get me to do it. Again,
we need some duo content.
I've never done any kind of videos ever. I did an unboxing once. I think when I got the first duo, I think I did an unboxing for like 4 seconds. Yeah, I might do it. I'll try. I'll give it a shot. What the hell? I mean, it can't be any worse than my audio or podcasting. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's like just like a basic bitch. Do it. I will do it.
Do it. Do it.
So we're evident professionals.
Yeah, we're like totally, like completely professional, completely awesome at this. It's like natural, like naturals. We're like Babe Ruth, except still alive and not very good at baseball.
We're just
babes. But we try. We show up anyway. I mean, it's college try, E for effort. I need to drink more, probably is what's happening here. So, Scoop, we appreciate it. Thanks for coming on the show. As always, that is an open invitation anytime you'd like to come on. And do you want to plug your socials? I know you have an Instagram, which if folks, and I think Aditya said he's following it. If you aren't following it, please follow this man's Instagram.
I am at the Bionic Scoop on all platforms.
Okay.
Be it Instagram, Twitter. You can at the Bionic Scoop on Facebook. You see my page there. I've got a bunch of stuff there that's normally too big for other socials. So, yeah,
absolutely. So check them out. We'll put those links in the show, so that way, in case people listening to the audio podcast later on, we'd be directed to your channel. And as always, thank you, sir. Open invitation. Come on anytime you want.
Thank you.
You are now a friend of the show, so congratulations. You've now been blessed as a friend of the show. And that's it. So, Joe, do you have any final thoughts or glad tidings for our guest here?
No, I just think we'll go back to what you said earlier. Live by this motto: don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be a dick. Treat people nice. Be a good person, and do dope pics, man. Just saying.
Take dope photos.
Take dope photos, and that's it for Joe, for Sam, and for the Bionic Scoop. This is the Nomad Tech Project. Love bringing it to you. We will be back next Sunday. Don't know if we have a guest yet or not, because clearly don't have anything planned around here. We just kind of wing it. So, yeah, don't be a dick is important. So for myself and for Joe and for Scoop, thanks for showing up. Come back next Sunday. We'll have some good content for you, great discussions. Enjoy your text. Stay cool, because it's hotter than shit outside. And we love you guys, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Nomad Tech Project. Take care.
Take care.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.